Então, fala amigos, beleza? Vamos aqui, galera, reagir, ver a mídia inglesa falando, né, sobre a virada impressionante do Real Madrid, que teve o Vinicius Jr como personagem principal, né? Mais uma vez acabando com o time do Manchester City e também deixando o Pep Guardiola desesperado, né? Em especial teremos aí o Thierry Henry, né, que sempre fala do Vinicius Jr e ele vai falar bastante, vai elogiar, vai falar o ponto de vista dele sobre esse jogo, né, que coloca o Real Madrid em vantagem e com certeza fica claro por que Vinicius Jr é o melhor jogador do mundo. Veremos esse vídeo aí, galera, legendado, tá? Vocês vão conseguir entender, não está 100%, mas vocês vão conseguir entender, né, quase que perfeitamente. Então, vamos agora acompanhar. Pedimos a você que já se inscreva aqui no canal se você é novo, ative o sino, deixa o like para não perder nenhuma novidade. Vamos ver aqui um pouco do que a mídia inglesa tá falando, né, sobre esse jogaço aí, também sobre o Vinicius Jr, que tem cada vez mais se tornado um personagem impressionante, né, emblemático na Champions League. Vamos ver.
Welcome back. Well, City fans took a pop at Real Madrid and Vinicius Jr. tonight. Remember how Real Madrid boycotted the Ballon d'Or because they thought that Vinny should have won it, not Rodri. So this is Manchester City having a bit of a swipe at Real Madrid ahead of the game.
Well, it wasn't a bit of a swipe. It's the fans, wasn't it? Come on, let's not make this
what
a bigger... come on.
So it's not a swipe. What is it then?
Well, no, it was a swipe, but it's a swipe from the fans. It's not a swipe from the club, is it?
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Like it
Why would you do that? I know I'm not laughing at a joke, right? What do you gain from that? Even if it's the fans?
It's a bit of banter with the fans, come on.
Wait, why? Why annoy people? Why wind someone up? Do it at the end of the game if you've beat them and knocked them out. Why are you getting involved in that?
Celebration priest again.
I am the celebration. Oh, don't start me on that today.
Louis Skelly.
Don't start on that, honestly. But that, I don't know what you get out of it. What you gain out of that?
It's a bit of fun between the fans.
But it's not funny tonight, is it? That'll be all over the press.
It is for Vinny Jr now. Last laugh.
Oh, look at that. Go on, Vinny.
Vinny Jr had the last laugh on this one. Player of the match. You know what? It hasn't necessarily been his best season so far, but that was a good game from him, Thierry.
Yeah, he does. He does usually in big games. He does do what he needs to do. Jamie, you seems animated on that one, huh?
What's
that bothered you?
I just don't like things. You know what? You know, if I was a Man City player, okay. You know, if I was coming out and I was, say, Steven Gerrard had won the Ballon d'Or, and we were coming out and we were playing Real Madrid, and he'd beaten one of their players, that would annoy me. If I was a Liverpool player, thinking, it's like a jinx.
Do you think you're easily riled, though?
No, it's just... No,
yeah, I mean, come on.
I mean, you make a habit of it, winding me up. But I don't like stuff like that. Why wind up some of the best players in the world, top-level footballers? I know Madrid acted like babies not going there, but you act like the proper club. You know, everyone laughed at Real Madrid for not going to the Ballon d'Or, whether it was Vinicius Jr or Ancelotti not picking up the... Manager of the Year award, the whole team didn't go. That was embarrassing for a club like Real Madrid, just because they haven't won it one season. Someone else got the Ballon d'Or. So Man City don't resort to what they were doing. Have a bit of class.
It should be better than that.
It should be a big banner. Oh my God!
It's not that deep.
Well, it will be. Well, I'll tell you what. I bet you that is on the front pages of Marca. Tomorrow, and it'll be. I'm telling you.
What do you know about Marca?
Marca and As, they're the two papers.
Okay.
Who told you that, TT?
No, I know. I'm aware of these things. I keep up with Spanish football.
And with that result, the energy has just drained out the studio. Micah's slumped. Came to you at half-time. It was 1-0 for Manchester City. We said, could Manchester City sustain? And here we are. Final score 3-2 for Real Madrid.
No, you've got to give credit to Real Madrid. I thought in the second half, they upped the tempo. I think the difference in that second half, losing Akanji, having a centre-back in there, he really did play his part in that first half. And more about his positioning, not going up, trying to get involved too much in attacks, his position going into midfield, trying to stop them counter-attacks. But in the second half, this man came alive. Vinicius Jr against young Rico Lewis. He got caught upfield a couple of times, made a mistake for the goal at the end. And yeah, it's a similar theme we've seen with Manchester City now. Although they did play a lot better. I thought the structure in the first half was very good, but after 70 minutes, they looked tired again.
We keep talking about Manchester City and Rodri. We saw a big banner of him before the game with the Ballon d'Or. We saw him on the bench, and we keep talking about, you know, they need midfield players, they got older players. I think we're at the stage now with Manchester City, they need a new goalkeeper. Ederson's been fantastic for Man City with the ball, but in terms of being a goalkeeper, he's cost them tonight. And he needs them because he's a really senior figure. He's been there, he's done it, he's won all the leagues, the Champions Leagues. And this has been going on for too long with Ederson, the goalkeeper. That's nowhere near enough at this level of football. That he's cost his team the game there.
By the way, I should say a very warm welcome to everybody who was watching over on the... I'm blanking on the name, the Lasso show. Thank you so much with Nico... I know, Dave Jones would never. With Nico Cantor, Nigel Rio-Coco, good to have you with us. It's Kate with Thierry, Jamie and Micah, the usual crew here on the Champions League show. Thierry, we haven't heard your thoughts yet on the game. What do you think?
Exactly what we talked about happened. We said it's going to be goals. We said those two teams cannot defend properly. We said that City cannot finish a game well. It happened. I've seen that from City all season. I've seen from Madrid also being exposed at times. I've seen City being exposed. We knew Mbappe was going to score. We knew Alan was going to score like they always do. But at the end of the very day, I said at halftime, can City finish the game well?
Well, as a coach, why are they not finishing the game
well?
off
I don't actually know. That's what you need to ask Pep Guardiola, because it's something that has been coming back and back and back. Arsenal, Brentford, Feyenoord. I mean, tonight, this is why, I mean, it's not, you don't have to be a genius to say, can City finish the game well? Because it's been happening against any team at any level. Is
it obvious to see, though, Thierry, in that, I mean, it can only either be a physical thing or a mental thing. I mean, physically, they just cannot play for 90 minutes now, this team. They haven't got the legs in the team, really, from minute 1 to minute 90, but it really shows itself up once you get into the latter stages of a game.
Yeah, especially against a team of that caliber. What I'm trying to say, and we've all been in that situation, when you're not well physically, it looks like it, then suddenly the decision-making becomes very different. As we saw in some, you know, goalkeeper comes out when it shouldn't come out. Ricardo should attack that ball, he doesn't. Vinicius Jr is more rapid onto it.
When you say physically not well, though, what do you mean by that? Because you played a lot of games. You played, what, 60 games? The most I ever played was 51 games in a season. You probably played 60, yourself a bit more. When you say physically not well, what do you mean by that?
That's what they've been showing. They're not finishing game well. So you have to also say that this team has been playing solid football for a very long time. It's not like it's 1 year. They won the league 4 years in a row. Okay, not all the players were there winning the league 4 years in a row. But when you go to the national team, you come back, you play in the league, you play in this, you play in that. At one point, you know, it's gonna maybe show that you're not there. If you're not there physically, then mentally also you won't help, or also mentally, physically you cannot perform. I just thought that can City finish the game well, because I've seen it so many times, and it does happen, and they need to find a way, obviously, to be good, because I thought they were solid for a very long time. Yes, Real Madrid could have scored, they could have scored more also. I thought they were solid, they looked good, but can they maintain that for 90 minutes against a team like that? And they couldn't.
So I heard that the goal came from Jude Bellingham, supposed to be a friend of the show, friend of yours. Some do a goal celebration. He could have done the Micah celebration.
No, it's a good job we didn't do the Micah tonight. But yeah, I mean, just what a player he is in terms of his work rate, getting into the box at the right time. He's just an all-round top talent, isn't he? But I'm gutted he did it against Man City.
He scored before, and he still didn't do it.
He forgot.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many goals has he scored since we've had that?
Probably about 5.
He still didn't do it.
He don't rate me, does he? He just pretends.
I think you can build bridges when we get.
What's wrong?
No, I lost my train of thought.
I lost my train of thought. Well, talk to me about this, because looking forward now, it's a 3-2 win for Real Madrid. It's an away win, yes, but away goals don't count the same as they used to, right, in this current format.
They're still in with a chance, aren't they?
So how open do you still consider
No,
it?
I mean, on tonight's performance, I mean, the way Man City leaking goals, you wouldn't go there feeling confident, but I think because they've got to score a goal, and there was parts of their game today I thought that was very good. I'm not going to lie. When the Kanji went off, there was a different team. Obviously, Kovacic comes into midfield. Stone drops into centre-back. They just lost the rhythm a little bit. And we've not talked about Grealish as well. Grealish was playing really well until he went off. We don't know what's up with him. Hopefully he's all right. So
should we make a bet
we can
about
only
Manchester City going through?
hope. What do you mean?
Should we make a bet?
Why do you want to bet? I don't want to bet. I don't bet.
Oh,
There's no chance Man City...
Why are you making ridiculous statements like that? No chance.
I don't see any way Manchester City can go through.
Do you remember last time we made one of these statements, TT?
They've got to...
Don't involve me in your battle.
They've got to beat Real Madrid in the Bernabeu by two goals, have I got that right, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you think this Man City team who went to Arsenal and got beat 5-1, have just been beat at home 3-2. Don't forget Real Madrid haven't got their own back four. They haven't even got their own two centre-backs.
Anything can happen in football, Jamie. You know that. Did you think he was going to bring AC Milan when he won the Champions League? He was 3-0 down? No. Touché.
You see, look,
That's the first time I've seen you quiet.
Hey, I'm not getting... If you want to talk about AC Milan 3, Liverpool 3, I'll speak about that all night. Don't worry about that. Man City got no chance of going through.
oh,
TT, you want a casting vote?
leave me alone.
No, come on, let's hear your thoughts.
No. That's their battle.
How open is the
let's
time?
have
We're
their
not giving
battle.
Real Madrid enough
The
credit
time
here,
is
by the
not
way.
that correct. The
They've
time
gone
is
to
not
Man
that
City.
open. I'm with Micah. Anything can happen in football. We've seen it before. He is the guy that can get told about it the most. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. You coming back against Milan in 45 minutes like that. I mean,
Real
just
Madrid
crazy.
have played their right winger at right back.
Yeah.
They've had a midfield player at centre back, a backup centre back as well, and they've gone to Man City and won 3-2. I mean, what they've done tonight is absolutely fantastic.
I agree with that. They've been very good.
I just don't see it personally, but anything can happen. I agree with Micah.
No team in the world
feel it.
that can smell blood in the water like Real Madrid. And once they get a whiff of that, they're ravenous. You won't walk out of there alive. And especially if you're cutting yourself and saying, here, let's make the waters murky with my own blood, it's a self-inflicted wound. How else do you take that? You walk out on the field and you see that, you say, all right, this is how we're going to do it. For a player like Vinicius, who was a Ballon d'Or candidate, who you know is one of the best in the world, and you do that, it feels premature.
It's crazy, you know. To give him more motivation than he probably already has is crazy.
If you're a fan of Manchester
But it was fun.
City,
We enjoyed it.
Aren't you thinking a bit, we could jinx him and really get him going for today? I mean, wouldn't you be a little bit worried it has the opposite effect, Nigel, than that's not worth the dig?
Do you know what? I've been watching Vinicius Jr for so long. I don't think he's a player that has any self-doubt whatsoever. I think he's so self-aware. I don't think this would actually motivate him more to want to play and have an amazing game. Like, I think he would say it. I don't think it will motivate him more. I think he already knows what it is. Every game he goes in for, he goes in with an attitude of, I'm going to show you that I'm the best player in the world. I don't think that does anything to motivate him even more so. It's a bit of reverse psychology. I know we've all been through it when playing in the games, that sometimes when you're young coming through, a manager will use it against you. Oh, he said that. It worked once or twice when I was young. After that, it just reverse psychology doesn't work.
Were you motivated the same for every game?
Every game, I was motivated because my mindset was checklist of what I have to do in a game, what I need to do, and what the best players in the world do. That's how I went
At the highest level?
Highest level, didn't care. Didn't care whether it was playing
Every game?
Old Trafford,
Twice a week?
all the time.
Were you, Grella?
It did not shake me.
Biggest problem for me. Biggest problem for me. To be motivated all
How
the time.
come?
Because it's difficult, you know? You have to go there, you have to prepare, you have to be ready. It's so much, you know? There's so many things. Obviously, it's different. You play in a Champions League night, or, you know, or you're playing in Old Trafford, or you're playing whatever big moment. Okay, fine, you don't need
But you know, but the
motivation.
thing is, as I said, but you need...
But every single week, of course, you need
in your
motivation.
position, if you know exactly what you
like
have
playing
to do,
football that much?
I love playing football. I was a student of the game. But if you know what is expected from you week in, week out...
But Nigel, even on a cold, rainy, as they say, away night in Stoke on a Tuesday and it's pouring.
Nothing changes in the mindset of, I know what I need to do to have a good game.
So basically what you're saying is he's the ultimate professional.
No, it's not about...
not.
Hold on. It's not about being the ultimate professional. It's just mindset. That's what people say. I always talk about intelligent footballers and intelligent play. That plays part of it. It's the mental side of it of every game you go in, I have a checklist of what I need to do as a player to come off that pitch to say, I had a good game. So it was just the mindset and the psychological warfare when you go into it week in, week out. I look at Vinicius Jr. now, you see it. There's an arrogance about him. Some people don't like it. They think he's too arrogant or he's too this. No, it's a self-confidence of, I am one of the best players in world football. I embrace that. I'm at Real Madrid and I'm going to show you and do it. So I think the whole tifo thing, I don't think that's going to motivate him more because he already knows going into it.
And if it doesn't, what you don't see in Vinicius is complacency, especially after last season. I think the fact that he didn't win the Ballon d'Or, maybe that pushed him a little bit forward towards, all right, that wasn't good enough. Let me show you what I can do. I think there's parts of his game, the complaining to the referees, it's getting a little bit out of hand. I think that the fact that he argues so much with everybody around him, I think that takes away from the class that he has on the pitch, his skill, period, his quality, because he has supreme quality. You could say superlative quality.
Doesn't that just come with the emotion that he has sometimes in the moment?
But sometimes it detracts.
But then that's the thing, though, because some people would look at it and say he's passionate, and some people use a different word to describe it. Oh, he's arrogant, he's this, he's that. So it just depends on who's saying it and what part of the media it's coming from.
It's palpable with Manchester City. They go up, and then you say, all right, 10 minutes left. You would have never seen a goalkeeper make that type of mistake that Ederson makes for the 2-2. That is wildly uncharacteristic from any Manchester City player. I said it on Golazo Show.
I wouldn't say it's uncharacteristic, though, because he's made a mistake as well already.
This season, but hold up, let's put this season aside. In any other year, you would say, we're talking about the best goalkeeper in the world. Today, he made a Sunday school mistake, a Sunday league mistake. It is so bad. I mean, this is the goal that he concedes, but if we can bring it back from the distribution, because he had the ball in his hands from the moment he distributes.
2-1. It's
not even 7 seconds. If we can go back and find that play, because he's standing at the edge of his box.
That's
Grella. They teach you this in what? When you're in U9s, when the goalkeeper has the ball.
I never went to goalkeeper.
Okay, no, I get it. But for your team to see a game out, what do you do? You have someone receive the ball to feed, secure the ball, and we're talking about, and this is why I feel kind of awkward doing this, like a breakdown of a Pep Guardiola side. They've taken the lead 4 times in the Champions League.
He's trying to play out of the back there, right? If mistaken me if I'm wrong.
Or he left.
He's punting out of the back. It's not like he's with his feet. He's trying to pop a ball over a forward and onto the right back. He has the ball and he's punting. He's the most simple thing that you can ask from a goalkeeper.
He miskicked it, or he just meant to do that?
He completely miskicked it. He miskicked it. The thing is, for me, it's when you talk about seeing out the game and managing the game there. I've never played goalkeeper, but I have common sense where if I was in the midfield, I'd be shouting at my goalkeeper to say, calm down.
Exactly.
Get up there. I said, wait. Then we get into a certain area and just kick it long. That is what it should be. So as a goalkeeper experience.
Isn't that part of the problem with Pep Guardiola, though? Because I think there was one moment on the game where he is screaming, calm down, and he's more frantic than anyone. There's no calm with Manchester City right now. And in some ways, that was actually the worst possible way to lose. It
is the worst possible way to, but I think, again, with what Grella says, and I agree with it for me, because this is just my opinion of watching the game and seeing how managers act and what they say and what they do. He has to take blame for that because he's taken a lot of personality out of the players in his team. People say Jack Grealish has become a complete different player now. So when you take all the personality and character out of these players, what do you expect? They become so robotic. They have no identity. And it goes to Ancelotti's interview we just witnessed. What does he talk about? Character, personality. That's what he does well, and that's why they thrive. You look at that Real Madrid side, so many egos, so many characters, so many personalities. They're so confident in themselves, and they manage the game with the ball, without the ball. No one told me about footballing philosophy, because the only philosophy they have is winning, and they got the job done. So when you look at those mistakes there, what do you expect as a manager when you take all the responsibility? Did you ever have a manager like
that, by the way, on the sideline that was just always shouting? And how did it make you feel as a player on the pitch? Did it add nerves to your game?
It was great for me, Poppy. I'm deaf in one ear, so I couldn't hear them. I was just went to the opposite side. So, no, it didn't make a difference to me, though, because I had no problem in taking that burden of responsibility. And you learn with the games that you play how to win games, how to see out games. You read the flow of the games, which is why I said to Nico off air, as soon as Real Madrid got that second goal, I said, Real Madrid are going to win this game. You just know as a player when you've been in these situations,
no team in the world
you can feel it.
That can smell blood in the water like Real Madrid. And once they get a whiff of that, they're ravenous. You won't walk out of there alive. And especially if you're cutting yourself and saying, here, let's make the waters murky with my own blood, it's a self-inflicted wound. And again, this goes back to the whole situation about how uncharacteristic this is. We're talking about Guardiola shouting on the sidelines, right? He's a manager that, sure, he can shout, but for the last 15, 16 seasons of football he's been coaching at the elite level, he knows how to transmit that message to his players to keep the ball. How many times have we seen a Barcelona team, a Bayern Munich team, a Manchester City team, up 2-0, up 1-0? Yeah, the game is close, but they bore you to sleep. They bore you to sleep. You say, all right, this is done. You're not seeing the ball. it's frantic.
But then also you
They
talk
lose
about
that calm.
you talk about the
That's a great
big
point.
personalities you're missing though, because you talk about the Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. You're talking about Company. He was there as one of the big characters. A period of time they had Yaya Toure in the middle of the pitch. So you had players who were willing to take that responsibility and be that real leader. I'm not talking about the quality of the players he has at Manchester City right now. But when you look at that
So
team
you're saying,
there,
who's not there?
Who's a leader there?
Who you look? I mean, there are
leader
several, but they're shook. I mean, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Haaland should be that leader. But there's something going on psychologically with this team that they're shook. They're blaming on each other. Ruben Diaz going like this to
Diaz
Rico
with that,
Lewis
yeah.
when they lose. There's something psychologically going on here that there's a leader isn't able to rise from the ashes and take this player forward, take this team forward. They haven't experienced this.
I would say right now, from my experience of football, when I look at this Manchester City side right now, they are lacking confidence. These players are lacking confidence. They're not bad players. They haven't become terrible players overnight, but there's an element of confidence that's just not there. And it's not just affecting one player, it's affecting a number of them, and that's why they keep making so many mistakes, uncharacteristic mistakes.
The moments will make us talk, right? The fact that they lost the game 3-2 will make us talk about those moments of the game, make us show the play where they made the mistake. But for large parts of the game, Man City got it right. Man City were good. Pep played his football. They played against one of the best teams in the world, and they dominated them for large parts. And I thought they actually kept Rodrigo, Vini, and Mbappe very quiet for large parts. And I almost, the conversation for me was leaning more towards, man, this front three doesn't really look like they're in tune. There was a couple times where they were not in sync, and they kind of got a better opportunity for what they got. And for large parts, they kept them 2-1. They had the lead, and you thought, okay, they're in control.
Yeah, you thought they could.
And then, unfortunately,
chances.
at the end of the game, the mistake from Ederson, and then the high line at the end of the very end of the game is just such a sucker punch, and it takes away all the good work you did for 70, 80-odd minutes of that football match. And then now the talking point is just that you lost the game at home again.
Galera, e depois desse jogo aí, acho que ficou claro, ou ainda mais claro, se a torcida do City tinha alguma dúvida de quem realmente era o melhor do mundo. Acho que o Vinicius respondeu, né? Acho que ficou claro agora quem realmente é o merecedor, ou deveria ter sido merecedor, né? Da bola de ouro que foi dada injustamente pro Rodri. E eles, né, fizeram uma coisa assim, muito doida, na minha opinião, né? Foi uma coisa completamente nada a ver. Eles tentaram provocar o Vinicius Jr, né, falando da bola de ouro. E assim, cara, a pior coisa é você provocar um jogador que tem personalidade. É a pior coisa. Isso acontecia muito com o Romário. Era muito provocado. Acontecia o quê? Ele fazia gols. Fazia 1, 2, 3. E depois ele tratava de ele mesmo responder, né? A torcida adversária que provocava ele. Ele sempre falava isso. E também o Cristiano Ronaldo, né? O antigo camisa 7 do Real Madrid também era muito provocado. E o final todo mundo já sabia. Quando provocavam o Cristiano Ronaldo depois, o final, ele mesmo mostrava, né? Que ele marcava gol e ele devolvia a provocação, né? É um jogador de personalidade. O Vinicius Jr é bem parecido, né? Embora muitas vezes ele não é tão perseguido assim por torcidas, mas algumas torcidas não gostam dele, né? Tanto na Espanha, né? Temos a torcida do Barcelona odeia ele, a torcida do Atlético de Madrid odeia ele, do Bilbao também odeia ele. E agora, pelo visto, também a do Manchester City, né? Que tentou fazer uma provocação. E aí, no começo, parecia que ia funcionar, mas não. O Vinicius Jr tem muita personalidade. Ele mostrou que não adianta provocar. Não adianta tentar desestabilizar. Porque esse garoto é muito forte mentalmente. Ele é um cara que... Ele não tem medo, cara. Ele não tem medo de arriscar. Ele não tem medo de ir pra cima. Ele não tem medo de chutar. Ele não tem medo do adversário. Muito menos a torcida. Então, por isso que o Real Madrid venceu essa partida mais uma vez, né? Parecia que ia perder, mas o Vinicius Jr estava lá, né? Até no finalzinho ele conseguiu mostrar, foi o MVP, foi o melhor da partida, né? Porque ele foi realmente o melhor jogador, ele jogou melhor e ele mostrou que ele é realmente o melhor do mundo. É realmente o melhor do mundo. Foi muito gratificante ver depois, né, as reações da torcida do City, né? Triste, todo mundo sem acreditar na virada do Real Madrid. Foi muito interessante, foi muito bom. E depois a entrevista do Vinicius Jr, né, que não vamos colocar aqui, mas ele falou, né, que ele não se abala com provocação, que ele não liga para essas coisas, que na verdade ele usa como motivação. A mesma coisa que falava o Romário e também que falava o Cristiano Ronaldo. Fica essa curiosidade, tá? Então, muito bom, cara. Muito bom ver o crescimento do Vinicius Jr. Muito bom ver, mais uma vez, ele dando resposta, né, para esses torcedores, pessoas que não gostam dele, pessoas que provocaram ele, né, falando que o Rodri merecia. Pelo amor de Deus, isso é uma loucura, é uma babaquice você falar que o Rodri merecia a bola de ouro. Então, a melhor forma de responder é como? Dentro de campo. E isso o Vinícius fez perfeitamente. Então a gente aí fica muito contente, né, com tudo isso. E se você curtiu o vídeo, vocês viram, né, que eles falaram também, né, na entrevista que foi um erro fazer isso com o Vinicius Jr, né? Provocar. Pra que fazer isso? E aí foi fazer, né? E aí o resultado todo mundo sabe. Se o City ganha, ainda assim teria o jogo de volta, né? E lá, com certeza, o Vinicius Jr ia fazer alguma coisa. Mas a resposta vinha no próprio estádio. Ficou feio, ficou pior ainda pra torcida do City. Ficou muito feio aquilo, porque eles provocaram e no final ficou claro quem é o melhor do mundo. Mas agora eu quero saber a sua opinião. O que é que vocês acharam aí do vídeo? O que é que vocês também acharam da participação do Vinicius Jr, do Real Madrid? Comenta aí, galera, ok? E mais uma vez peço a vocês, se inscreve aqui no canal para vocês não perderem nenhuma novidade que trazemos aqui sempre sobre Real Madrid, sobre os jogadores brasileiros, né? Neymar, Vinicius Jr, Rodrigo e vários outros, ok? Tamo junto, até o próximo vídeo.